Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Long's Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Long's Drugs for all your shopping needs. Honolulu officials recently updated city policy with a more robust response to suspects who assault law enforcement officers. Honolulu prosecuting attorney Steve Alm changed a list of criteria for immediate lockup cases to include all assaults on law enforcement officers. Previously, only suspects who fell into certain categories were charged and detained. The move comes after a fatal assault on Kapolei Police Station grounds in February. Michael Kalama Armstrong was accused of attacking a police officer on February 14. Police sought to keep him in custody, but he was released the next day pending investigation. At the time of his arrest, Armstrong did not meet the definition of a dangerous person or a major offender and was not classified as transient. Armstrong allegedly beat 48-year-old Linda Johnson to death with a tree trunk outside the police station shortly after he was let go. Some argue the incident could have been prevented if Armstrong remained in police custody. Alm said he is seeking funding to hire additional deputy prosecutors, which will allow more cases to be immediately charged. A bill that would require Hawaii public schools to include positive and accurate representations of LGBTQ+ people, people of color, and disabled people is advancing in the legislature. The measure calls on the State Department of Education to provide comprehensive training in an effort to destigmatize and promote sexual health. Under the proposed law, all teachers would be trained on the topics, not just educators who instruct sexual health classes. The bill has been met with pushback from some lawmakers and parents. State Representative Bob McDermott said the measure is an attempt by liberals at social engineering. He said LGBTQ sexual health issues are not mainstream and are not considered normal. Parents who provided testimony against the bill's passage said they feel the measure diminishes their right to control what children learn about sensitive subjects. If the measure passes, the State Board of Education and DOE would be responsible for creating a curriculum and training teachers. Honolulu police are looking for a man who allegedly hit a 25-year-old woman with his car after an argument at the Waianae Boat Harbor. Two groups of people who were drinking at the harbor got into an argument early this morning. The suspect allegedly drove his car toward one group, struck the woman, and fled the scene. He was driving a green four-door Toyota Corolla with license plate GYC 424. The woman declined to be taken to a hospital. Police have opened an attempted murder investigation. Meanwhile, HPD is seeking the public's help in identifying a man wanted in connection with a bank robbery in Waikiki. Police said the suspect entered the Central Pacific Bank Waikiki branch on February 23 and presented a demand note to a teller. The note stated that he had a firearm. He fled the scene after the teller gave him an undisclosed amount of cash. The suspect is in his 20s to 30s, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighs about 180 pounds. He has short black hair and acne under his eyes. Video surveillance footage of the man is available on the Star-Advertiser website. Anyone with information about either case is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 808-955-8300. A 54 California man has been charged with attempted murder after he allegedly hit a 45-year-old woman with a firearm and threatened to kill her in Hilo. Averill Reed of Riverside was charged Sunday with second-degree attempted murder, first-degree terroristic threatening, kidnapping, 2 counts of second-degree assault with a deadly weapon, and 3 firearm-related offenses. South Hilo patrol officers responded to a hotel on Banyan Drive Friday night after receiving reports that Reed struck a woman with a firearm and threatened her while they were in their hotel room. The Hawaii Police Department described the woman as Reed's friend. Fire department personnel treated the woman at the scene and she declined to be taken to a hospital. Reed was arrested at the hotel. Hawaiian Airlines is adding more flights and hiring hundreds of workers in response to a strong uptick in business. Hawaiian Airlines President and CEO Peter Ingram told the Star-Advertiser Spotlight Hawaii that the carrier is seeing good demand from North America. The bump comes after a pandemic lull that lasted through the Delta and Omicron surges. Hawaiian is restarting seasonal nonstop service between Oakland, California, and Kona, and adding a second seasonal daily flight between San Francisco and Honolulu. International air travel to Hawaii has not returned to meaningful levels, but Ingram said the carrier flew a bigger schedule to the mainland in July than it had before the pandemic. Ingram expects flights to return to normal levels this summer. Hawaiian will average 9 daily flights between the Bay Area and Hawaii during the peak summer period. It is also offering daily nonstop flights between Los Angeles and Maui from mid-June to mid-August. Responding to the increase in demand, Hawaiian plans to hire more than 100 pilots and 300 flight attendants this year. There will also be opportunities for mechanics, customer service agents, and administrative staff. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.